Shout out Beware. What up, though? And it's your favorite Pistons podcast, Pro Wrestling Talk for the Pistons fan. Want to find out more about our show, like where to order our official t-shirt or how to follow us on social media? Visit our Linktree /PWTPF. That's linktr.ee/PWTPF. And thanks to our premier sponsor, ticket-barter.com. See you at the seats. Good morning. I'm getting ready for that Pistons game tonight. Yes, sir. It is not the last game of the season. Put it on everything. Not in our house. I still believe. What's another one? Destination Possible. Just to slightly piggyback from the last episode. How cool has Darby Allin's career been? Like, he gets a tag team with Sting. He actually wrestled in Sting's last match, right? And now he's AEW champion. Like, that's just crazy. Like, I wonder anything in 2018, 17, like, hey, I'm gonna be Sting's tag team partner, right? Like, that's wild. It's Sting! See, when I knew him though, like, Sting had that music, like, I like the surfer guy Sting. Pause. Hella pause. Call it a hot take all you want. I never enjoyed the Crow Sting. I never enjoyed that. Sitting up in the Raptors, get down here and fight. What you doing? I remember it was an episode of like Thunder or Nitro. This is probably when the booking was bad in WCW. Real bad. Like Sting was up in the Raptors and NWO Wolfpack. Wolfpack is back because of mass destruction, you know. So yeah, the Wolfpack is in the ring and Sting just sends a bird down to sit on the ropes. And that's how the whole show went on. The bird went down and sat on the rope. Wolfpack just sitting there like, what is going on? Because now, like, retrospectively, they try to, like, simplify. Like, oh, the Crow Sting. It was like the Crow / Papa Shango Sting. It got weird for a minute. And who could forget Sting in TNA? Remember, that's not Sting. That's Steve Borden. They were doing this angle where it was like they just wanted Sting, like they were agitating Sting, and they're like, you just went beyond messing with Sting. That's Steve Borden. And how could we forget? Main Event Mafia? The Main Event Mafia? That was crazy, man. They had a clique in TNA called the Main Event Mafia, dog. It just sounded comical, like. I watched wrestling my entire life. I never like, oh, man, when the Main Event Mafia came out, I was like, all right, maybe I'm outgrowing this. TNA, man, and I would say TNA from like 07 to like 12, 13, like, man, dog, that was a variety show. Like, cause it was crazy because you got like Samoa Joe, you got AJ Styles, so you got some good wrestling. You got some good wrestling in there, but then you would just get some craziness like Brooke Hogan making her debut. Like, Brooke Hogan, like Dixie Carter, she is going through that table tonight. Like, I can't wait for the day when I just pull up some old TNA and my daughter is like, why does the ring have 6 sides? I just can't wait. I haven't showed it to you. She'll be like, yo. Look up, man. I've had a good laugh. And I ain't even got to the episode yet. I don't even know how I got it. Look up. I'm pretty confident. Look up Dixie Carter going through a table at TNA. Like, look at that. Devon Dudley. I've never seen him get this excited before. He meant that. First of all, when he's putting her up there, I remember that. I ain't even got to look it up. I remember because we laughed so hard one day where Devon, he put her up on like Bubba Ray's shoulders and just for like 3 more unnecessary seconds, just felt on her booty. Just like, it was like, yo, I got to get a little rub in here. Anyway, I want to do like my personal career retrospective of Brock Edward Lesnar. I was looking up like, what does Brock mean? I thought Brock might have been a nickname. Then I found out, no, Brock is his name. Brock is his name. Like, I guess like Brock Purdy, but his middle name, Brock Edward Lesnar. That sounds dope. Brock Edward Lesnar. That has a great flow. It's almost as good as Joe Brown. Almost as good. Pause. Brock is 48. It appears that he has called it quits, or soon to be calling it quits. So when I say like a personal career retrospective, that just means the things that I remember most. So I'm probably going to live out a ton of stuff. First time I saw Brock wrestle, and I remember because he does have a presence, right? He's a natural like wrestler, combat fighter. It was a dark match at like a show at like Joe Louis Arena. Because I remember, and my brother, I think I was there with my brother and his friend, but I don't remember which one said it. But as soon as Brock came out, we was like, yo, That's a huge corn-fed blank boy. And you know exactly what the blank means. That's something we say as like, like I'm showing you a little respect. I still kick you. You know what I'm saying? Like I still think I kick you. But I'm just saying, that's a huge corn-fed blank boy. You know what I'm saying? Wow, I had to look it up. That is a thing. So that's not just a Detroit. It typically refers to a young blank male from the rural, Midwestern, or Southern U.S. background who is sturdy, muscular, and well-bent. Hella pause. They can put a picture of Brock Lesnar right next to that definition. Like either Brock Lesnar or what was the guy that played for Michigan, win number 1? Jake Long. That huge corn-fed blank boy. Jake Long was a house man. Pause. You know Jake Long was out. He went number 1 in NFL draft. 6'7", 300 and some pounds. Pause. But I remember Brock. I just remember that tattoo on the back, and then man, he upped the game when he went to UFC and got the sword on the front of him. Brock is the reason that I watched the UFC today. Like definitely, I remember it was UFC either 81 or 82. Yeah, definitely. And then he main evented UFC 100. It was like the triple main event. I know Thiago Silva was on there, and then it was Brock and Frank Mir. I mean, that was a big match at the time. Huge. Pause. So yeah, when Brock came over for UFC 81 or 80, I was hooked then. Like I think I ordered like after that like probably 10 consecutive UFC pay-per-views because then I started to enjoy watching Anderson Silva fight. It was just that's like peak UFC, and the WEC was still going on. They had Uriah Faber, they had Jose Aldo, Mike Thomas Brown, Benson Henderson. I mean that like when you talk about like UFC now, that dog, this is I'm talking about anything sub 100, sub 200, peak UFC. And there was that weird thing in between where like he tried out for the Vikings. Right? I think I know he's from Minnesota, has Minnesota ties, and then he tried out for the Vikings. So that was kind of weird. Didn't make the team, but I wonder like wow, like that. I guess that was a blessing in disguise. He turned out to be the UFC like heavyweight champ of the world. That's like the epitome of when one door closes, another opens. Right. Like that's crazy. That's why you never get down on yourself. But yeah, he was like, yo, I'm gonna try it. Like I'm trying out for the football squad. And then going back a little, I guess I went backwards. I'm just talking. I'm just shooting the breeze. So then to go like backwards a little bit. My favorite like match build for the Brock Lesnar was probably the Brock, like for the Brock. Rock and Brock, right? It was I think it was SummerSlam, and they just kept showing these videos where they were training, and that just got me hella excited for the match. I don't even remember what happened on the match. Let me look it up. Yeah, shockingly, the WWE has it up, the full match on their YouTube channel. But yeah, this is 2002, so I was really into wrestling. Like this is the summer I was headed to Michigan State. Yep, SummerSlam. And one thing that I know is I just watched it. Brock beat The Rock. Great match. The crowd was off the hinges, off the chain like Rottweilers. But this reminded me that music that Brock has now, that I started out like that. But Brock used to have that boom. Boom, ba boom, boom, ba boom, boom, ba boom, boom, ba ba boom, ba boom. Okay, you guys, you're not listening to me, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, this is probably hands down my favorite Brock match. This is definitely so, and I love this title. Like you rarely see people with this title. They might sell it as a replica, but I love this style undisputed heavyweight title. Can't mention Brock's career without mentioning the Undertaker, right? So they had that weird moment at the UFC fight where the Undertaker was in the crowd. Now, the Undertaker is documented several times. Like, he's like, yo, if I was younger, I would definitely have switched to MMA. That's why, Hell's Gate. But Brock had fought in the octagon, and Ariel Helwani, I mean, this appeared to be an organic moment. Like, Ariel Helwani was interviewing the Undertaker, and Brock loses, and he cuts through the crowd. And as he's cutting through the crowd, the Undertaker just kind of looks at him and says, want to do it? Like it was almost like, we can get busy right here. Like, you still owe me that money. It was like, this is another peak UFC moment. It was everybody's like, is that real? And Brock just kind of look at him like, man, I ain't effing with you tonight. I'm still not paying you back your money. I'm like, listen, bring back Zuffa. This was great. I watched it again. And then the Undertaker, like, I think clearly it was a work, right? But the Undertaker, he just sells it so the constant professional. Undertaker is just like, You can tell Ariel is like fanning out at this point because he's like, what just happened? Like, did I just see like Brock and Undertaker just literally stare each other down? Like, is this an MMA fight? Is this wrestling? Like, because at the time Undertaker was like a heavy participant at I'm not participant, like attendee at UFC events. So he's like, what was that about? You know what I'm saying? Because I would have said the same thing. Like, yo, what's that about? He's like, it's personal. Is it? He just his personal. I'm like, yo, Then, of course, WrestleMania 30-something. I don't know. WrestleMania 30-something, we finally get the Brock and Undertaker match, and the streak is over. That's it. The streak is over. I would have loved to have seen the streak. I thought the streak should have just been the streak. That's honestly what I thought. It should have just been like, hey, the Undertaker just this is it. This will define his career. I've heard a trillion stories about how this match ended, right? Either way, the WWE got what they want. They created a moment because it was shocking. It was shocking. It was just like, only thing that could have been more shocking is if that would have ended the show. That's what I always say about Brock beating Undertaker at WrestleMania. Because it's a storyline that's been booked over 20 years at this point, right? And I thought, you should just end the show like that. Just leave him in shock. That would have been like the craziest ending to a WrestleMania ever. It just goes off because they showed the Flames like whatever 21-1 or something like that, and I thought it should just went off. We'll see you on Monday night. Like, can you imagine the because they always say Vince was in for shock TV, right? Like Devon says that, and so that would have been the ultimate shock TV because you would have just been like, yo, that's it. This is before 2-night WrestleManias and everything. That's just me. That's just my booking. Brock Box. Who can forget Brock Box? He was walking around with the beatbox. I just remember. I'm just gonna say that, but you know, Jack's Turkey Links, right? And the reason I bring this up is because CM Punk said in an interview that he really wanted to do like some like wear some like promotional gear. Like he wanted to like have on Nike shoes in the ring or something like that, right? And he said that he was told no, and then a few months later or whatever, after he left the WWE or right before he left the WWE, he was like, one of the driving forces was like, like Brock came out and had the Jack's Turkey Link shirt on, right? Which was very unique for that time because the wrestlers used to come out in, whatever, plain tights, plain jeans or whatever. And I remember Jack's Turkey Links or whatever, that's what he was promoting in the UFC before the UFC got the Reebok deal. And then he left, came back to the WWE, and yeah, CM Punk was like, yo, we showing favoritism? Like he didn't use that exact word, but that was a big deal because now you guys look at advertisement, and yes, and not you guys, I'm just saying, like the advertisement is over the top, but for somebody to just have on a t-shirt and it looked weird, like back then there was like zero advertising, like almost zero. Pause for Jack's Turkey Links. I don't want to mention the Brock versus Goldberg match. It is what it is. That's why I'll never have like either one of them in my like top 5 anything. It's just like, man, y'all could have done better than that. Like let's put all the business stuff aside. The bottom line is you had a job to entertain, right? And I remember I ordered this pay-per-view in my dorm room. It was just horrible. It was horrific. And my favorite Brock match is SummerSlam a few years ago when he brought out the tractor, him and Roman. That's just entertainment. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? A tractor lifted up the ring. Like, just the next day, I was still on Twitter at the time. People just showing the photos, like, look at the ring, halfway lifted. And they just left the ring halfway lifted up. Like, that's one of my all-time favorite matches. I'm sorry. I know you're going to be like, wow, why? I'm just saying, that is pure entertainment. And then I'll end it on this, the Superplex. The Superplex, man. That was on SmackDown, too, so that was dope. I also love the way the ref sold the Superplex. So, Brock Superplex, the Big Show off the top rope, the whole ring crashed. Just a whole... like we don't get endings like that anymore. It's just like, and it just went off. That's that shock to me. It just went off. You're like, the ring just broke, and the ref sells the hell out of it. He just bounces around like, oh man, bring it, man. Look, TKO, man. Y'all gotta do better than this. How did I not end on this? I was like, where does the name Brock come from? Right? Where does that come from? It says the name is primarily of Old English origin, meaning badger. It originated as a nickname for someone who thought to resemble the animal in appearance or tenacious character. Like, how can I not end on? I'll see y'all tonight. Hey, look, not in our house. Not in our house tonight. I'll see y'all at game 6.